Let's talk money power in the game. They don't want you with.
Weekly update, I don't sleep, I scheme. Got my hand in the markets, eyes on the green. Options to equity, bonds to the tech scene. Turn bear traps to bread, that's a PortCorp dream. Street charts and shark suits, I move like a dawn. Make the bell ring early just to prove I'm on. This ain't no newsletter, it's war on a beat. Wall Street Weekly, where the wolves don't sleep. I don't trade feelings, I trade formations. Got breakouts time like Fed rate statements. Puts in position when the yield curves flip. Take gains from the top, never die with the dip. I seen bulls get reckless, bears get crushed. Retail hype turn legends to dust. So I read the tape like scripture at dawn. With a watch list colder than a hedge fund pawn. The CNBC, nah, this is street taught. No blue blood trust, just what grit brought. We don't pray for the pump, we prepare for the play. I front run fate every earnings day. Weekly update, I don't sleep, I scheme. Got my hand in the markets, eyes on the green. Options to equity, bonds to the tech scene. Turn bear traps to bread, that's a PortCorp dream. Street charts and shark suits, I move like a dawn. Make the bell ring early just to prove I'm on. This ain't no newsletter, it's war on a beat. Wall Street Weekly, where the wolves don't sleep. Stock split profit, I'm a scalping beast. My calls eat good while they beg for a piece. Inflation print, I decode that live. Cause CPI lies don't keep me deprived. Dot plot hawkish, I pivot and slide. Ride momentum waves like I'm surfing tide. Jerome make a move, I'm 2 steps ahead. I hedge like a ghost while they begging the Fed. This for the ones who don't flinch in the red. Who read Powell's tone like it's Morse code said. The game ain't fair, but my mind got wealth. And Wall Street Weekly is the cheat code itself. From the pits to the screens, I done seen it all. Ticker by ticker, I watch them rise then fall. But I rise like rates in a hawkish minute. While they play checkers, I run the whole clinic. Fed talk, got them guessing, I just chart in silence. This that grit from the grind, not Ivy compliance. I'm the trader your fund manager warned you about. I teach you how to move when the weak tap out. Weekly update, I don't sleep, I scheme. Got my hand in the markets, eyes on the green. Options to equity, bonds to the tech scene. Turn bear traps to bread, that's a PortCorp dream. Street charts and shark suits, I move like a dawn. Make the bell ring early just to prove I'm on. This ain't no newsletter, it's war on a beat. Wall Street Weekly, where the wolves don't sleep.
So check the levels, check the vibe, check the ticker before the ticker checks you. Welcome to Wall Street Weekly, and welcome to the other side of the market.
This is Wall Street Weekly with BC PortCorp. Listen deeply, charts bleed reality. Green mixed with red, every ticker got a story, every dollar got a thread. Profits speak softly, losses scream loud. Bull markets whisper but the bears roar proud. Investing's more than digits, it's decoding minds. Patterns in the chaos, treasures you can find. Eyes wide open, stay sharp and precise. Cause easy money's myth, truth comes with a price. Watch the money flow, truth hidden in disguise. Risk what you know, wealth favors the wise. If you ain't thinking deeper than your pockets leak weekly, get your mind right. Get your mind right. Tune in to Wall Street Weekly.
Mic. Oh, there it goes. I don't know what it is with that mic. It was working right before I went live, tested it out, and then as soon as I go live, it doesn't want to work. But thank you everyone for tuning in on a Saturday. This is going to be a quick stream. I really just wanted to check to make sure that all of my settings were working because I've been having some problems with YouTube. You know, I keep trying to go live on Piper Academy with Good Morning Crypto, and I was having some problems. They kept rugging me. So we fixed some settings, and hopefully with the new update, it all works perfectly. So thanks for tuning on in. It'll be a quick show, and let's dive on in real quick. Because, I've been talking about some stock picks for quite a while, and they did quite well this past week. Dylan VA saying the mic has some stage fright. No, it's scared about the alpha that I'm about to drop on your head. So we did see a little bit of some movements on some of my favorite stocks here. So let's get over to that screen share, show you what I was looking at. I've been talking about quantum computing for quite a while. We finally got a massive move towards the upside on it on Friday. 23% move towards the upside. I've been buying since way down here at our 50% level on our fib extensions. I've been talking about that for a while. There was a nice little, let's see, since July 25th to about September 25th was a nice little buying window as we maintained the top side of this CME gap. It was a massive CME gap from when we got that nice drop to the downside here. We also had this nice little support line that's been running from way back here. This is more on that higher term time frame. Let me get it zoomed out so you can see it. There we go. Nice little bounces here on the daily, and we got that nice clean bounce off of it. Went all the way up towards our platinum pocket on Friday. Really waiting to see if we can get a nice little bounce off of the top side of this new CME gap and then make some new all-time highs for QUBTS. So this is a quantum computing company that I've been talking about for quite a while. Really happy with some of the gains that I've been getting off of it. Whole lot better than some of those altcoins everyone keeps bragging about, but that's neither here nor there. I've been a big fan of getting back into some stocks, and it's been paying out quite nicely. We also did see a big move for Ookla, a nuclear company, over this past week. They have some partnerships coming out with some companies in the EU, so looking to continue on some of those gains going forward. We did just close out this giant CME gap that I was watching, really waiting to see if we can get above it. We did see a little bit of rejection off of the 382 on our fib extensions there. Let me get that colored on in because it is closed. So we want that to be a black background so we know it's closed. There we go. Really waiting to see if we get a little more cool off inside of our CME gap to continue back towards the upside here. We are above that 2618. And then continue on towards the upside. We do have a little bit of some overheating here on the MACD, here on the daily, waiting to see if we get that curvature. But that money flows, what's really holding things up right now. We did have a very nice cool off here on the shorter term time frame. As you can see, this hourly continuing to get a little bit of cool off as we move a little bit sideways in the CME gap. We are on the top side of the CME gap. We've not retested on the midline, so that's a move I would kind of watch for, and then look for some continuation up out of our CME gap. We are sitting in some red money flow here on the hourly. You've got your MACD and your prime oscillator both pointing a little bit to the downside here. Let me get that MACD zoomed in. As you can see, it's getting a little bit of sideways momentum and starting to point towards the downside here. So to see a little more pullback here in this CME gap, not too unexpected. We are trying to hold the 2618 on our fib extensions there, but to see it drop just a little bit further and then get that nice move out would definitely cool off some of these oscillators on the shorter term time frame here. 15-minute also looking quite similar, where you're seeing that nice sideways momentum. You've got several bearish divergences stacked up here on the shorter term time frame as well. So Monday definitely looking like you might see a little bit of a sweep towards the downside. You have these very equal lows as well on the short term time frame, and you're starting to print that little bit of a lower high. So could see that continuation to the downside on Monday in our CME gap, really get that bounce on out of there. I love the fibs. Yeah, the fib extensions and fibs are one of my favorite ways to find some levels. They do play out quite nicely over and over and over again. You can kind of see it on even the shorter term time frame here. Let's get that moved over to the 1618. You can see how cleanly this rejected off of that golden pocket fib extension 1618, dropped back down to where I was looking for some support, and then completely ripped towards the upside there. One of my buddies got in on this back at that $90 level, and he's been absolutely happy. I got another buddy that was buying way back here in July. It's way back here at that platinum pocket. So he didn't even do a whole bunch of TA on it. It was yeah, this area over here, July. So he didn't do a whole bunch of TA on it. He saw that it was down a little bit on the chart. He heard my analysis on it because I dropped a whole analysis on it. Did that in the Piper Academy Discord in our TradFi section. And then it's been an absolute rocket ship towards the upside. We did get some nice testings on that golden pocket and our normal ranges, and then completely blasted through that 1618. Really doing some battle on that 2618 right now. Also in that CME gap. So Nuclear been doing extremely well. They've got some partnerships, not just in the US with the Department of Energy, but you've got some partnerships coming out in the European Union as well. So big news coming out of UCLA this past week. Also, another one that I've been talking about for quite a while has been Serve Robotics. We're finally getting above the 382 on our fib levels. Let's get this zoomed on out. Take a look at that daily time frame, because I've been talking about it for quite a while here. You know, we did get some sideways momentum between the 236 and the 382, and I've been really waiting to see us get back into this giant CME gap that has been some resistance. It is from the platinum pocket all the way down to our 50% level on our fib retracements here. We have been seeing that 50% come in over and over as some resistance, and it looks like we're nice and cooled off here on the daily to potentially get that break into our CME gap all over again. We do see our wicking action on the higher term time frame into it, but we really get those candle body closes on the 50. As you can see right there, that candle body close was on the 50. We started towards the downside after that. So nice little move into there. Would have been a liquidity grab from anything over here. Anyone playing those future markets, trying to liquidate someone before we get that continuation towards the downside here. But we are finally in a uptrend on the higher term time frame. You got that bounce off of the 236. You've got the rejection off of the 382, a bounce a little bit higher here than the 236, a higher high. You've got your low, your higher low, your very equal lows here. So could sweep a little bit and then continue back into that that 50% line, but definitely looking like things are in a little bit of a different trend than that nice consolidation here. So this has been that area I've been buying up for quite a while, and I've been talking about it. I will drop something in the Piper Academy Discord as well a little bit later this weekend, but I'm looking for a little bit of continued upside on Serve on the macro. Little bit of some worry here on the shorter term time frame. As you can see, things are still a little bit toppy, and I'm waiting to see if we hold the 382 here or if we really sweep these equal lows and then get that stronger move towards the upside here. That's kind of what I'm looking at on Serve. That is a robotics company, but my big favorites, you know, Nuclear, been talking about it for quite a while here, and this one, SMR, making modular nuclear reactors, had some big news as well. There's been a lot of partnerships coming out with some companies that have very, very high energy demands, and these are going to be companies like Amazon and Google, who require a lot of energy to run data centers. There's been some big partnerships in the work with companies like SMR. There's also TeraWolf as well. They make modular nuclear reactors, looking to branch out besides just Bitcoin mining. So that's another one I've been keeping my eye on. Have not bought into it yet, but definitely keeping my eye on it for now to wait for those actual official announcements of partnerships and not just the rumors that everyone's been following. As you can see, SMR here is in an uptrend all over again. We did have the nice lower high and lower low here, but now we're starting to make a little bit of an uptrend here on this hourly. You've got your higher lows coming on in. You've got your higher highs as well. Really waiting to see if we can get that continuation above our CME gap from way back here. There is another CME gap directly on top of that. So let's get this one moved since it is closed so we can get a better view of the other CME gap we need to keep our eye on here. Let me get that there. Get that all. There we go. So as you can see, this higher CME gap is still open and is a little bit of some resistance. We did get some moves into it, but I'm sure if you zoom that on out to the daily, you can see some nice Wiccan action in there. So definitely looking like we could continue on towards the upside here after a nice little bouncing action off of the off of that one line on our fib extensions here. Really seeing that 1618 as our resistance level that we will need to get above. This has been a nice little buying opportunity if we do continue towards the upside. I have been in for quite a while, so I'm not doing any buying at these levels, but I'm definitely happy with my returns, and this is why I've been talking up nuclear this entire year. We're really seeing the Department of Energy have a heavier lean into the nuclear sector as well, and that'll do nothing but make these assets continue to go towards the upside as new partnerships come about, as we see new announcements coming out for Microsoft as well. You have Bill Gates stepping into the nuclear sector to start powering some of their energy use cases. So definitely looking like nuclear has been one of the bigger moves this year. I don't know if anyone has any requests they'd like me to take a look at, but I did have one other thing I wanted to take a look at. I've been talking about the healthcare sector as well, diving on into that one. I got into Humana a while ago, was talking about it quite heavily. God, Bill Gates gets his hands in everything. Yeah, you know, when you have that much money, you really gotta diversify. He's got his hands on a bunch of farmland. He's got his hands in a bunch of computer companies, getting his hands into nuclear energy. You know, if you hold the whole means to production from beginning to end, kind of cuts down on your costs. So Humana has been another company that I was paying attention to. We got a nice dip back down to our golden pocket on a retracement here. Really waiting to see if we can get above this 50% line and continue on towards the upside. I was doing some buying back on the golden pocket. This is a weekly chart here, so keep that in mind. We did spend a lot of time around this golden pocket. I was doing a bunch of buying, and I've been waiting for it to get some continuation towards the upside. Weekly is starting to look a little bit nice if you can get above the 50. So we do have that MACD line getting some curvature back towards the upside as you're starting to see this money flow coming back in here. You've got that prime oscillator getting that sideways momentum on the weekly as well. So zooming this on into the daily also seeing that very, very similar move towards the upside. You can see that prime oscillator just getting to the green here. Money flow did see a little bit of a visit into the green, and we are trying to maintain that quite nicely here as well. Would look to see what really happens at the 50% line before I see some continuation towards the upside there. Thoughts on Big Brother, I mean Palantir? Well, we can definitely get into that one as well. I believe that's on my list somewhere. So print, baby, print in Trump voice. Is that on the nuclear ones or just in general? What happened to Circle? We can take a look at that one as well. I talked about it here a few weeks ago, and it's definitely been looking a little bit interesting. So nice one to take a look at here. That MACD and Prime Oscillator both looking like you can get that continuation towards the upside here if we can get above the 50 and really continue on above that. Would really want to see what happens at that 50% line first to see what kind of reactions we start getting. Looks like, oh no, it didn't. So looks like the stream is holding steady. So these new settings must be working. We do have the 1 hour and the shorter term time frame looking a little bit toppy here. So that's why I really want to see how price reacts at the 50 line before we make a decision in either direction here. So you might get another little bit of a chance to stock up on some Humana. This is another one of those big healthcare companies that I don't think is going to be going anywhere anytime soon. So they offer a lot of insurance to the American populace, and they make quite a bit of money as well. You know, let's scroll on down here. Next earnings report, 32 days. Where is it? It's somewhere down here. They've also got a dividend, and scrolling on down, here it is. Year to date, they've been doing pretty well. So definitely looking like this has just been a nice buy opportunity with some consolidation, and it's looking like even the technicals are rating this as a strong buy, and the analyst ratings as a buy as well, which is why I've been buying on this golden pocket and will continue to do so if we get that rejection off the 50% line and come back down a little bit more. You know, I took that coin position. Ooh, that is a good one. I did talk about that one on Good Morning Crypto, so we will get into that one here in just a second. We did have Circle talked about, so let's get that pulled on up here. I talked about it a while ago. Let's get it zoomed on out. Take a look at this daily here, see what we got going on. As you can see here, we are starting to get some information on the higher term time frame. And this is why a lot of people don't play the IPO game. They want a little bit of data. They want to see what the levels are. I did talk about us getting above what was this a resistance line on, I believe, the hourly, and is looking like it might be a support area all over again. You can see how cleanly we rejected off of it when we were below it, and now we are back above that area. So looking like you might have a little bit of continuation towards the upside here. We are finally back above the golden pocket. We didn't get all the way back down to my secondary buy area. My first buy area was way up here, and we're looking like we're going to make our way back to it. So definitely looking like you can continue towards the upside here on Circle. That's why I started talking about it the other day. Here on the daily, you are seeing a little bit of a reversal signal, that money flow in the red just a little bit, but could definitely get that continuation towards the upside as we are, if this would load. The hour that trading view doing a little bit of some problems there. There we go. We are in an uptrend here. Army Piper, the everything bubble is tanking link to 800. Oh my goodness. Well, if you're in the Piper Academy Discord, you heard a lot of talk about $800 link in the chats there. We had a little bit of fun making some jokes about someone that predicted $800 link. So I don't think it's happening, you know, and I think Piper agrees with that one as well. But the everything bubble taking link to 800 is quite the upside there. BC, where can we find the 2,000 companies that make up the Russell? I'm pretty sure Google would tell you that one, but we can dive into that. We are in an uptrend on Circle here. As you can see, we're making those higher lows and higher highs as well. We do have this fair value gap that I've been keeping my eye on. It is not just a fair value gap once. I guess that's not locked. Let me lock it. There we go. It's a fair value gap once here. It's a fair value gap here as well, and on this green candle too. So this is a massive fair value gap. ZTS, how you doing? Lunar Beaches says Google. Well, if you want, we can pull up some Chat GPT instead. Ask the AI, what are the companies that make up the Russell 2000? Oh, not 200, 2000. I'm sure it knows what I meant though. There you go. This isn't a Google chart, a chat. There you go. So, looks like here, it pulled me up to a website. So, I will drop that link in the chat for you. Here you go. If you want to see what companies make up the Russell 2000, there's a link for you. Wait, link ain't gonna hit $800, says Crypto Coin Mindset. Probably not. I wouldn't bank on it. You know, we're sitting at like $23 now, and we've been struggling in that crypto market just a little bit there. So Circle is looking a little bit interesting. I do want to see how price reacts at the 50% line on our fibs, because that has been a little bit of a resistance area, and it is also that fair value gap as well. So to see price reject off of it just a little bit, not too unexpected. Shorter term time frame does look like there could be a little bit of some pullback. So to see some bouncing action at the 50% line on this CME gap from way back in the beginning here when we got that move towards the upside, not too unexpected. That is coming in at $140. So might be a little bit of another buying area here if we can get that bouncing action off of it. I've been buying Circle all over again. So I was buying once we dropped below that golden pocket, started a little bit of some buying, not anything heavy, but if we can really confirm this uptrend with some strong upside movements, I will be buying a little bit heavier. I'm okay with missing out on a little percentage here or there to really confirm the uptrend, because you know this was a massive sell-off. A lot of people took some profits, and very few people have started buying back in. They kind of want to see what's been going on. Los on cryptos. Good morning. Hope you're having a great day so far. We're just taking a look at a few stocks I wanted to test out, make sure that my Streamlabs settings are all okay and that things will work for Monday mornings. So stream on Piper Academy. Looks like it's been doing fine. You know, it says excellent connection. I've got no buffering. The X stream is working perfect as well. So dual casting back up and running. I don't know what their updates did, but they messed with a whole bunch of my settings and I had to get back in there. An amazing day. Went to drop Gypsy off at the groomers, did some shopping, picked her back up, drove home without hitting a single red light along the way. It's a sign. Nothing to stop $800 link. Oh my goodness. Hey, I've had a good morning too. We went to the farmer's market this morning. I got some extra spicy salsa, so I'm looking to try that on out when we do some eating with the football games today. So some snacking, we got some chips, and definitely happy to use those. We did have another request. Where was it? Coin. That's what it was. Coin also in my portfolio. We talked about the move that we wanted to see on Good Morning Crypto, and that was a little bit of a move towards the downside and then a launch towards the upside. We got that little bit of a dip below 325, and then we've launched back towards the upside here. We have finally closed out the CME gap, so let's color that in black so we know that it's closed, and we are trying to hold the top side of it. Hourly is looking a little bit toppy, but that higher time frame, I'm sure, says that we could continue towards the upside there. And there it is, folks. Definitely looking like you can continue towards the upside if you can get that money flow to continue in the green. We are in the red here. This was a nice little consolidation below our CME gap. So to see us launch back above as crypto is starting its move towards the upside, not too unexpected. We would need to get some fib extension levels drawn on out to really see that, because we were seeing a little bit of some resistance, and it looks like we've now reversed the trend. Still getting a little bit of some upside moves there, so that does look like it might have been the bottom. Let's see how this goes. We've got that bottom to the top to what is the bottom here at 293, and it looks like we're also above that 236 as well. Definitely an area we can pull back down to. As you can see here, we're seeing a little bit of some sell pressure above that CME gap, so could definitely dip back down. Do a little quick visit on the 236 at $367 before we get some continuation towards the upside there. As you can see, the 50% line on our fib extensions is going to be our resistance area for now, and that'll be the big battleground to really get above. That's coming in at $445. So nice little profit if you got in down here all set. I believe that was that area we were talking about the other day, that daily time frame looking like it can continue if we get that money flow, and that weekly really getting that curvature back towards the upside here. As you know, everything in the crypto markets is getting a little bit of a move towards the upside there. I feel like farmers markets are way overpriced. You can buy cheaper at Whole Foods on a lot of produce. Hey, we bought 4 pumpkins for $3. So I don't know. That's not a bad price to me. It really just depends though where you're at. Because if you're in a city, farmers markets are going to be a little more expensive. But, you know, I live in the farming basket of America, and we can get a lot of corn here for like $6. So that definitely beats the stores. When Roaring Kitty coming back? Oh, God. I don't know. I've never followed Roaring Kitty, honestly. So maybe sometime soon as the markets start ripping. BC, how about Pepe? We can take a look at that one as well. Hopefully that list that I dropped you there, LBC, helps you with the breakdown of the Russell 2000. So let's see. Yep, not anymore, Steve. I've even seen videos of farmer market produce with barcode stickers on them, which indicates they're just buying from distributor. Yeah. So it really does depend on where you go for your farmers markets. So here in Nebraska, we've got a lot of homegrown crops. We've got a lot of farmers here in our local areas. Our eggs are a little bit expensive, but they're normally not like chicken eggs. So we get a lot of duck eggs for sale, quail eggs as well. Also a video of watermelon in North Carolina farmers markets with stickers from Florida, while Whole Foods had, yeah, I guess Whole Foods has some good deals. I don't know. I don't go to Whole Foods. I don't even really know if there's a Whole Foods in my local area, but I normally just buy from my farming buddies. I get good discounts on meats, corn as well, a few other things, but it really just depends on where you're at, because not every state is good at growing everything. So let's see. Farmers markets used to be a gem. Yeah, it depends on what you're trying to get. Here we've got a lot of, you know, like pumpkins and watermelon and beef and corn and beans as well. So extra cheap on some beans. I can get beans for extremely cheap. Let's see. What were those other requests? Link was brought up as well. So let's take a look at some link, since people were talking about $800 and we can't even get above $25. Let's zoom this on out. Take a look at the weekly here. Look at that. We are in a bit of an uptrend. Let's get some of these levels hidden on out. I can redraw them later. Really clean that chart up here. Let's get that one as well. You can see how well some of those bounced off of those levels too. Let's get it hidden. Looks like we're above all of that too. I will keep the bottom side one that we were talking about at $11.82 though. So that's where we got some bouncing action. That platinum pocket finally came in as some support, really looking like we're trying to break above this fair value gap from way back here though, and that is come in as some resistance, looking like a little bit of a downtrend for now, but it looks like right now we have found a little bit of support at the 382, and that'll be that area we will kind of look for some continued bouncing action off of. Got some nice strong moves back into that $20 level, and this fair value gap is coming in as some resistance. That is going to be 24, looks like $24 on the dot. So getting this zoomed on in a little bit here. Weekly looking a little bit toppy, so we would need to see some continuation moves on the shorter term time frame. That daily is in a little bit of a downtrend here, so that is something we will have to contest with. You do have some nice bouncing areas down here at about 1966. What? No, you can't. Sorry about that. I forgot to give my girl back her car keys, so she can't go nowhere without them. I don't know why she wants them, but there we go. All right, what AI stocks are you looking at? Honestly, I haven't been focused a whole lot on AI stocks. I believe, me personally, that AI is a little bit overplayed right now. It is definitely an area that has been overheated in the markets because there's not actually a whole lot of utility that is coming from AI to produce actual money in companies. You do have small AI companies. Well, I say small. They're small in comparison to like ChatGPT. But if you've heard of Anthropic, that would be a good one. They actually will have actual use case that has been making money. They are the #1 AI when it comes to coding. So Anthropic is a good one. I don't know if they're public, but that is one I've been keeping my eye on. I use it for coding as well. So that's a big company that actually has legit use case, because it can actually produce money. So that'll actually help it on out. A lot of the AI for now is being bought by, people like me, or other creators or small business owners that use it to help them assist in tasks and don't actually produce goods just yet. There are small ones that, I make a design or something like that. But on the whole, these massive companies aren't using AI to produce a whole lot of money. So a little bit overheated. I've more so leaned into robotics instead of AI, which is why I'm very big on Serve. I've been talking about Uber for quite a while because Uber is coming out to replace the human element in how it provides goods to humans and their like Uber Eats. They're looking at doing some drones. They're partnered with Serve and having fully autonomous cars delivering goods to people. So that has been the more sector I've looked at. Also, healthcare robotics has been that other sector I've looked at. So definitely a nice little sector. Not AI, but AI adjacent. So let's see. Link looking like it's in that little bit of a downtrend. We've got that strong support at $19.72. That could be hit all over again if we lose that 382, which the weekly is looking a little bit toppy. You've got your daily getting some curvature back towards the downside here on your MACD line and on that prime oscillator as well. So we will need to contend with the momentum for now. Let's see how that hourly is looking. Hourly seeing a little bit of some cool off here. So we are holding the highs from back here as some support. Definitely looking like it's in a uptrend on the shorter term time frame, but in your macro still in that downtrend. So we would really need to start breaking above that 236 on some highs to kind of reverse that trend there. Not trying to mess up fillets that run $47 a pound. I bought them 50% off. Oh, yeah. So there's a Wagyu shop that was just at the farmer's market there. So tempted, but we just bought half a cow. So I don't need more steak. So I want to see pictures though when you cook it. They do. The marbling on them is amazing. Yeah. It's been a little since I've had some Wagyu, but I absolutely love it. The meat is so delicious, and it can be a little bit hard to cook right sometimes. But like that's one of those meats where legitimately all you need is salt and pepper on it, and you're like the meat itself is just amazing with it. So let's see. We did have one other request. What was it? Pepe. All right. Let's take a look at some Pepe, and then we will wind the show on down. Looks like I made it through about 40 minutes, and it is done absolutely okay with my new settings. So I'm absolutely happy on that, and we shouldn't have any problems for Monday's Good Morning Crypto stream. So let's get this zoomed on out. Take a look at the extremely high time frame here on the weekly. Let's see. It looks like we got some bouncing action off of a level we had talked about that was way down here. 5 zeros 8812 or 88668. So as you can see, that was the level we had drawn out from these equal lows here. Core weave, I can take a look at that as well. That's actually one I talked about the other week and was doing pretty good. So we can take a look at that. We were in a bit of a consolidation phase on Pepe. I talked about the potential that we break below it. That's why we had marked out those levels below, so that we can actually get above things. So we did break below, and that weekly is looking nice and cooled off here. You're starting to see that clipping out on the true 7 on the weekly. So let's get that zoomed on in, take a look at the daily here, really see what we're contending with. We are still in a little bit of a downtrend, so that is why we were talking about potentially breaking towards the downside of that consolidation area. Let's get this one deleted. Let's get that one deleted as well. Clean up the chart just a little bit. So it is still in that downtrend. We broke out of the consolidation, fell under support. So that'll be a resistance area to really contend with. We have those very, very strong support directly below us. So seeing that sideways momentum coming in here on the daily, we're just lacking some money flow. That'll really drag things back up towards the upside. And it looks like that first real battle area we'll have on the macro is going to be our platinum pocket. 401121 area. So that is that next real area to kind of do some battle with. That'll give us that next little upside movement that we could potentially look for. We do have some resistance directly above us with what was support going to be a resistance line now. So let's take a look here, see what we're looking like on the hourly. Nice and cooled off here on the hourly. Let's get that zoomed on in a little bit better there so you can see it. There we go. Nice and cooled off on the hourly. We're similar to what we were looking like on Link, trying to hold the highs from back here. Instead of the highs here, it'll be the highs here. So looking like 50953 area is going to be that area where you could potentially look for a little bit of bouncing at with how cooled off that hourly is looking on that prime oscillator. Waiting for some sideways momentum on that MACD to really get that pushback towards the upside there. So let's take a look at some core weave. I was talking to one of my buddies about that the other day, and it's been doing a little bit all right. We did have an unlocking period on CoreWeave that allowed people to sell off. That was the big contributor to this downtrend here. And then you got that bounce off of that line and got that move back towards the upside there. Let's see. Walmart Oh, Walmart doing all right. It's one of those defensive plays. Yeah, Walmart stays out of politics, it seems. They know what they're doing. Yeah, go woke, go broke, lean one way, you piss off the people on the other side. So they're just trying to provide the most goods that they can to the most Americans. And they do a decent job at it. They've even started competing with Amazon, which I've been really, really surprised to see. They're delivery of goods directly to people's homes has done extremely well. They've done a bunch of marketing on their Walmart app as well that makes it extremely easy to pay in the store. And you also get some free deliveries above like $35, I believe it is, on goods. So definitely been doing extremely well. Oh man, we are having a Walmart delivery and it's amazing. Yeah, it really does do extremely well. Especially since Amazon doesn't meet those needs. Amazon does do like grocery delivery in places like LA and New York City, like the big metropolises, or like less than 24-hour deliveries on goods as well. Order something on Amazon, it gets there in less than 24 hours. So like that's that big push that Amazon has over Walmart in those big cities. But for delivery of groceries and things like that, Walmart's been kicking butt. They saw what their niche was and they're really trying to fill it. They're beating out Target. That's why you've seen Target really struggle. Target doesn't deliver your groceries to your door. Walmart does though, and Walmart will continue to kick butt in that. I get Walmart Plus for free with my American Express, and my Walmart Plus gives me Paramount Plus streaming for free. Win, win, win. Yeah, you playing the game right there. So we did have CoreWeave getting back to a CME gap. We saw a little bit of some rejections off of that midline of the CME gap. We're trying to hold that CME gap right now. Bottom side coming in at 132. I was talking about CoreWeave the other day once we got that move back above this resistance line and we held the golden pocket. So got that nice move back up above the 382 here. Really waiting to see how we react at the bottom side of that CME gap. This hourly also looking like it's a little bit cooled off here. So daily still looking like you could potentially see some continued sell off. Let me get that zoomed on in a little bit better so you can see it. So hourly looking nice and cooled off, which is why I would look for a little bit of bouncing action in that 132 to really see if we can hold that CME gap up. If not, coming back down to that 382 is definitely a move to kind of keep your eye on. Would probably be the midline of that other CME gap. Let's get it drawn on up here. So yep, so 382 pretty much the midline of that 38 it is the 382, the midline of that CME gap that we just made. So if we don't hold the 382 there, coming back to close out that CME gap would kind of be a move to watch for. We've also got an extremely big CME gap that's left open here. So would really need to hold these levels down here at about 120. So if you can't hold that 120 range, if you do dip below that 382, then things do look like you could continue towards the downside. But hourly, nice and cooled off here. 15-minute for Monday, looking like you could see that nice continued consolidation on the bottom side of that CME gap just a little bit to get that continuation towards the upside. So if you think that CoreWeave is doing decent, you know what our topping areas are. That is going to be way back up here above the 382, coming in at 187. So not a bad area to kind of continue towards the upside off of. If we hide this one out, really go to that macro time frame, get a fib extension level drawn on out here. Let's get that pulled up on the hourly. That comes in a little bit better there. Let's get that fib extension from our lows here to the high, back down to our lows. Looking like that 50% line, also the midline of that CME gap, which is our resistance right now. So definitely looking like things could continue towards the upside if we can hold some of these key levels here. So that's going to be that 120 range. That is our nice area to kind of look for some continued bouncing action if we continue to reject off of that 50, close out the CME gap, and see what that strong bouncing action would be around those areas. So CoreWeave, not necessarily a bad buy. I was talking about it way down here when we got that nice little move towards the upside off of it. Was saying that CoreWeave looking like it's going to make some moves towards the upside, and that's exactly what it did. So I do pay a little bit of attention to some AI. You also had their partnership company, which was Core Scientific, called that one out too. We got that nice little range back here that I was keeping my eye on. We're approaching that platinum pocket all over again. Let's get that zoomed on out a little bit further. So looking to try to make a new all-time high on Core Scientific. Wouldn't necessarily buy at these levels, as you can see here on the daily. Seeing a bunch of topping indicators here. There we go. That's a little bit better. Seeing a bunch of topping indicators here. You got your peak seeker coming in. You got a bearish divergence. You've got that MACD getting some rollover here after that nice move back up towards that platinum pocket. So not a bad company either. Finally closed out the CME gap as well. So I would look for a little pullback first before trying to get back into this one. So Gemini or Coinbase? Definitely Coinbase, says Piper. So let's see. I saw some stuff. The Vitalik Buterin documentary. I did not. I might have to watch that one. I respect where Vitalik has come from, but when he started talking about people in the ecosystem just there to make a bunch of money, I was like, whatever, bro. I mean, that's in every community, though, especially as crypto has continued on the trend that it's been in. A lot of these communities are just filled with people that are trying to make some money. But the reason I have continued to say that ETH won't die is some of the most legitimate projects in the crypto space are built on top of Ethereum. Ethereum was that number 2. They showed the flaw in the crypto ecosystem where, yes, crypto peer-to-peer, but like peer-to-peer is such a limited use case of what the technology could actually be. And Ethereum really highlighted that and showed what more use case crypto has. And a bunch of these other crypto projects that have come out since then have only just been trying to really, overtake Ethereum because everyone's been, seeing what the use case ETH showed was, and they're like, oh, well, I can do that better. But can you, bro? Base is the ETH savior. Well, so there was a Base, and then Base uses the OP style L2. So OP was really what opened the door to Ethereum having a savior, and Base has really, really helped them out. And that it's part of the reason where, as much as I don't necessarily like the centralization of the Ethereum Foundation, I don't think they're going anywhere, because you do need, at this point in crypto, a little bit of centralization to push forward the crypto narrative so that you can have the decentralization that all of crypto was built to be kind of flourish. So a little bit of centralization to kind of push out the proponents of crypto might be a little bit helpful for mainstream to start adopting it, and not just adopting it like, oh, I'm going to buy the Bitcoin ETF or the Ethereum ETF, or I'm waiting for the Solana ETF, to actually be used as a technology. And that's why I'm here for crypto. I'm not here to just make money. I'm here for the revolution that is cryptocurrency. So I've been going for about 54 minutes now. So I said this was going to be a short show, and apparently it wasn't. So if we have anything else to talk about before we wind it on down, I will dive into it. JP Morgan helped him out. Let's be real. JP Morgan helped out who? Coinbase? Or did y'all see that Swift is making a blockchain? Oh my goodness, I'm not happy about that one. So they're working with Link to make a blockchain, but apparently they're not going to be using Link. So there was a big talk about Link partnering with Swift, and apparently they're not going to be using the Link blockchain at all. They're going to be making Link is going to be making a blockchain for Swift. So we will talk about that one on Monday, because I was not happy at all. LBC saying they helped ETH a little bit, yeah. We can we can talk more on that one on another show, because if y'all get me going too much, this is going to be like a 2-hour show, and then my girls are not going to be happy with me, because we have plans a little bit later this afternoon. So before y'all get me too overheated, we will wind the show on down. And we will talk about those topics bright and early on Monday morning, because looks like everything will be going absolutely great for Monday's stream on Good Morning Crypto. We should have no bugs, no issues, and I'll also have a 4K camera. So that should be here in like an hour or so. I just got a notification that it was being delivered. So hopefully that is all here, and we can have not one camera angle, but I can start pulling a Piper, because I'll keep this camera, and then I'm going to have a whole nother camera that I'm going to set up too. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. We will be having some new things for Good Morning Crypto. And then y'all keep your eyes out for a potential trade to take Monday, because we will be taking a trade as a community together, and we'll see how we do with October starting off nice and strong. So make sure you change your settings in Streamlabs for 4K. I already changed them for 4K, and so I'm streaming on my 1080p camera right now with 4K settings. So apparently it did fine. So I guess we'll see what happens then. But yeah, I already got those settings changed. It said it was supposed to be here at like 8 a.m., but there was a delay on Amazon. But I'm not going to complain too much. I just wanted to test the settings out, and I wasn't expecting to actually do like a whole hour. But thank you for everyone for tuning on in. We got 10 people over on X. I appreciate every single one of you. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube, and that would definitely be a little bit helpful. You know, YouTube really has an easy way to support. So let me get that link shared on out. I'd appreciate a like button being smashed. I'd appreciate a subscribe as well. Really helps out and boosts that algorithm. But thank you for all of you over on X, and thank you for the 16 people that tuned on in here on YouTube. Until Monday morning, y'all stay safe. You know, have some fun, watch some football, spend some time with the family, and we will get back at it bright and early Monday morning at that new Good Morning Crypto time at 6:45 Eastern. Yeah, I was thinking Central Time, because that's where I live, but 6:45 Eastern, we will start bright and early Monday morning. Don't tell me what to do. Well, I'll tell you what to do. You don't have to listen, though. So y'all have an amazing weekend, and I'll see you Monday morning. Wrong button.
Yo,
This is Wall Street Weekly with BC PortCorp. Listen deeply, charts bleed reality. Green mixed with red, every ticker got a story, every dollar got a thread. Profits speak softly, losses scream loud. Bull markets whisper but the bears roar proud. Investing's more than digits, it's decoding minds. Patterns in the chaos, treasures you can find. Eyes wide open, stay sharp and precise. Cause easy money's myth, truth comes with a price. Watch the money flow, truth hidden in disguise. Risk what you know, wealth favors the wise. If you ain't thinking deeper than your pockets leak weekly, get your mind right. Get your mind right. Tune in to Wall Street Weekly. With BC PortCorp, we're making sense of the madness. Truth in the numbers, clarity from the vastness.